evening and welcome to the Michael Vogiatzakis for Mayor Show. I'm Brad Wilder. Love him or hate him, one thing is certain. Michael Vogiatzakis is creating a movement in the city of Winnipeg. He's gaining momentum, connecting with residents and showing people what leadership can look like when you put Winnipeg residents before politics. Because the city works best when we put residents first. I'm sure you feel that way. When we focus on what matters most. Safe neighborhoods, good jobs, clean streets, affordable housing, reliable services, and safe communities all the way around. Winnipeg becomes stronger for everyone when things are going well. A lot will say it's not gone well in a very long time. Now, putting Winnipeg residents first is what matters most to Mike. That's how we build a better Winnipeg. And City Hall is not a stepping stone for Mike at all. It's a responsibility, and he knows that. A responsibility where Michael put residents ahead of party politics, special interest groups, and backroom deals. Now, every decision, it starts with one simple question. Does this make life better for the people of Winnipeg? No spin, no games, just service. Mike believes City Hall should work for the people, not the other way around. That means respect. That means open communication. That means listening. And tonight, we'll talk about the issues that matter most to Winnipeg families and hear directly from the man who wants to lead this city forward. We'll be back with more on the Mike Vogiatzakis Show right after this.
At ASAP Auto Glass Winnipeg, we know you need it repaired fast. That's why we do all the work. From contacting AutoPack and starting your claim, to replacing that broken windshield, we make sure your visit is carefree with quality service you know and love. From automotive to industrial, we replace and repair. From cars, trucks, and SUVs to industrial glass, we get the job done right the first time. At asapautoglass.com, our website has all the answers you're looking for when repairing or replacing your automotive glass. Winnipeg Auto Glass Repair is ASAP Auto Glass. Experts and fast. Book your appointment today.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Mike Vogiatzakis Show for Mayor. I'm Brad Wilder. Tonight, we're going to get into all kinds of great topics. Before we do any of that, though, hey, Mike, great to see you. I know you're a long ways away. I'm out in Alberta, and you're still in Winnipeg. And obviously, that's been your home now forever. You were born there, raised there, and are still there and won't leave anytime soon. Tell us more, Mike.
Heck, I won't even go on holidays. Winnipeg is my home, born and raised here on Toronto Street, really, in downtown Winnipeg. What a great city. But when you walk through or drive through Winnipeg today, the city has drastically changed. And people are taking notice. People are understanding something's wrong. And in the last 4 years, Brad, things have taken a turn for the worse. And, we'll talk about how I got on a bus the other day. And it was interesting, and I plan on doing that more often just to see what people are experiencing on the buses and what goes on. But we have some really good plans that we're going to be bringing out in the next little while. We're on the 14th, obviously, we get our campaign in motion by having the meet and greet, and that's going to be interesting. But before we do that, maybe we'll talk about our viewers and say hi to them.
Well,
and
yeah,
of course,
we've got a lot of them, don't we?
First and foremost, of course, all the time, every show is Gord. He's brought some beers with him tonight on the show.
We should share those with
maybe he brought them for Al Bueller.
Well, I was going to say we should share those with our buddy Al Bueller.
Yeah. And, of course, Michelle's on the show. Hi, Mike, and Brad and everyone else. And Steve Bage, had a couple conversations with Steve Bage. I want to thank Steve Bage for being there for Al Bueller. He's a good friend and has had his back. So that's really important. And it's good to see people come together. That's what Winnipeg is all about. Loving one another, caring for one another, and being there when somebody needs you most. Hey, my friend Daniel's on the show. He says, hi, Mike and Brad. And hey, Debbie. Good evening, Mike and Brad and everyone else. You can go ahead, Brad.
I see Debbie's online. Corolla's here tonight. Sandy Cheadle's with us as well. Let's see here.
Kimmy.
Yeah, yeah.
Got a whole bunch of
Gurdeep?
people on here.
Is that right? Gurdeep, CBG?
Hey, you're the professional broadcaster.
I'm
Don't ask me
looking.
how.
The lights are pretty bright in here tonight.
Rod
Let's
Miller,
see.
good evening,
Val
gentlemen.
Kirsch is here.
Whole bunch of people here tonight, like a lot.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's great. That's
So-
exactly where we want them to be, is right here, and we've got a lot to talk about. Randy Medwood dropped in, of course. Randy had a poster up, big bash going down south of Steinbach. Did you see that poster, Mike? He had your name beside it. Are you
Oh,
going
no,
to
I
that
didn't see it.
party?
I was working. I was working at the funeral home most of today, so it was a busy day. Didn't get a chance to do. But yeah, if there's a party, I'll go check it out. Why not?
Well,
And then Father Nicholas Tabakis is also on the show. I'll be doing a funeral with him on Friday. So yeah, quite a few people on here. And you know what, Brad? Next week you're going to be right here in Winnipeg, right here with me, side by side.
I am.
So Brad is coming in, and for those of you that are going to come to the meet and greet, you need to come to the meet and greet. It's the first one. It's going to be fun. It goes between 7 and 9. I'll be doing a speech at 8 o'clock, and Brad will be introducing me. So we're bringing him in just to do the introduction and be part of the team, because Brad is the biggest part of our team. So glad to have you there, Brad. I'll pick you up from the airport and drive you around and show you
limo?
Winnipeg a little bit.
Are you going to stand there with the
You
little
probably
sign
miss
at the down at the bottom of the escalator?
Yeah, of course. I'm going to superstar Brad. Oh man, I bet you miss Winnipeg. You just can't wait to drive, through Main Street and through Portage and just see the excitement and the fun.
Okay,
And
well-
maybe we'll get on a bus together and go for a ride and things like that.
I think we got to say a quick little plug then for the favorite food places: Gondola, Juniors. There's more.
All those places.
I'm going to eat well while I'm there, I tell you what. And I'm going to go get some of that kubasa so I can bring it back home in my backpack. I wonder what they'll say trying to bring rings of kubasa onto the airplane.
I don't know. It's going to be pretty hot. What's going to happen at the meet and greet? Well, there's a lot of interesting things that are going to happen. So, listen, campaigns work on donations. So you can give a $25 donation. If you give a $100 donation, for example, you get $75 of that back. So the city of Winnipeg gives you money back when you make donations. So when you come, maybe bring a few dollars with you, help support the campaign. The campaign is all about how much money you can raise and how far you can get your name out across the city. We do well on social media, but social media is not the only people that vote. We need to get out everywhere across the city so everyone knows who Mike Vogiatzakis is, and then we have a better chance of winning the election. We need to remember that nobody's beat an incumbent mayor in like 70 years. That's a long time. So that's why they say an incumbent mayor always wins. Something else is going to happen, and Brad will introduce this, but we're going to do something really interesting, and we're going to invite the media, but I'm going to release a huge platform promise, and you'll want to be here to hear it because it's something no one's ever done before. It has to do with emergency services and how it's going to change this city forever. And people are wondering, well, what's Mike's plans? How's he going to make Winnipeg better? How's he going to make it safer? Well, what I'm going to release at the meet and greet on the 14th is going to be a real eye opener for a lot of people. And you're kind of wonder, why didn't we do this before?
Well, you couldn't do it before, could you?
I couldn't do it before. Scott Gillingham definitely couldn't do it.
Obviously, 4 years to try to get it done, and he hasn't. So time to move on. A lot of councillors moving on too, Mike. I noticed that. So we'll talk a little bit about that later on tonight too. Now that we've got the
nomination book there where you could sign. So we need 250 signatures, and I'm hoping we can get all 250 signatures on the 14th that day. And when it comes time, hand in that book. I want to get maybe 600 signatures in total. We're also going to have another meet and greet and a fundraiser followed at the Pony Corral. And that's going to be on Pembina Highway, and we're going to have it out in the patio. That's going to be a lot of fun. Probably another one at the Cork and Flame. And something else that we're pushing really hard is if you want our campaign to come out to your neighborhood, to your community, and you want to set up a meet and greet or a fundraiser, or you want people to just ask questions and see what we're going to do for your neighborhood and how we're going to make a better Winnipeg, you can reach out to our campaign team. And we have a website, Mike for Mayor 2026.com. reach out to us. You can get a sign there. You can get really cool things like I don't know if you've seen these around the city yet, but they're the Real Change Now Vogiatzakis for mayor, and people are putting them on their windows. And it was kind of cool because I drove by a person today who had one on their window. He didn't have a clue I was in the car beside him. And we have lawn signs. We have big lawn signs. And if you have a space for us that you have a lot of traffic that drives by, we have huge lawn signs. So a lot of those are also going to be available at the meet and greet. It's between 7 and 9, and it's going to be fun. And it's at the Park West. That's at the end of Roblin Boulevard.
All right, that's great. Looks like it'll be a fun night. Lots of people coming, I hope. Pack the room.
I think you know what I'm thinking. There's going to be quite a few people there, and I'm even maybe thinking that maybe Father Nick could even come out and say an opening prayer for our campaign. I think it would be a great way to start the campaign.
All right. Well, Mike, we've got a friend who has been down and out for a little bit here, a good pal of ours named Al Bueller. And Al, well, before we continue with tonight's show, we'd like to take a moment, I guess, and recognize a friend of our program. And Al Bueller's the guy. Many of our viewers know Al, and, recently he's been facing some serious health issues. Al's a valued supporter of the show, and tonight we want him to know that our thoughts are with him during his recovery. Now, Mike, I know Al means a lot, and not only to you, but many of our viewers. Would you like to say a few words about Al? Did you get by and see him?
Sure. Thank you, Brad. That's really important. First and foremost, I want to ask everyone watching tonight, please keep Al Bueller in your thoughts and in your prayers as he continues his recovery. Al is facing a long road ahead and is unable to work during this time. We're asking those watching tonight to support Al and his family as they navigate this difficult period in their life. A GoFundMe page has been set up for Al, and it's a challenging time for this family, and we hope you'll consider supporting them, not only in prayers, but financially, if you're able to. Al, we're thinking about you, we're praying for you, and we're wishing you strength and full recovery. Our thoughts and prayers are with you and your family, for sure. You can donate to Al Bueller's Road to Recovery, and it's organized by Connie Koski at GoFundMe. So, you know what? I went and saw Al Bueller in the hospital the other day, and he was really happy to see me, and I spent some time talking to him. And it's tough when you're sitting in a hospital room and you're used to going to work and making money and paying the bills and meeting your budget each month. So Al's not able to do that right now, and he's going through a real difficult time, and he's actually having trouble walking. So it's going to be a while before they get him back on his feet and he's able to go back to work. And of course, we want him to feel comfortable and not be so stressed out when you're lying in a hospital bed, worrying about how you're going to pay the bills and making sure nothing gets disconnected. So if you can help Al Bueller, reach out and make a donation, and he'll really appreciate it, and so will his family.
And we've had the donation information up here beside you in the picture, Mike, so everybody can kind of get a look and get online and maybe help him out. No doubt about it. Now, tonight, Mike, we're also going to
You know what,
talk...
Brad? Before you do that, so I promised Al that when you come in the city, that you and I, because he asked, that you and I are going to drive out and see Al together at the hospital.
Well, of course we will. Why wouldn't
He's going to really appreciate it. And I know he's in his hospital room right now. So for the people in the comment section, which people love, and Al Bueller, of course, that's what Al Bueller was, the comment section.
Hey, I got the picture up of you and Al. You were hanging out with him last week in the hospital.
Yeah, we're hanging out. You phoned me just as I left because you wanted to say hi. But then I said to him when he called me the next day, I said, look, Brad and I'll come out and say hi to you at Selkirk Hospital.
Does anybody know about the pictures you took of Al while he was in a coma? No?
No. Have you put those up? I mean, they're on the GoFundMe page. So
he had a beer in each hand, right? No, I'm just kidding. I'm totally
he thought he was putting
an
IV in his arm.
yeah, going right from the bag, All right. Well, Mike, tonight we're going to talk about your vision for Winnipeg, your priorities, and the future of our city. But before we get into all of that, I want to ask you perhaps the most important question of the evening as we bring up this picture on screen of two young children embracing your campaign sign. Mike, we've got that photo up and ready to go. Why is it that you're really running? Let's get to that question and get everybody that understood.
Brad, these pictures say 1,000 words. as we look at these young children hugging a Mike for Mayor sign, it reminded me exactly why I'm running. I'm not running for power. I'm not running for prestige, and I'm certainly not running for politics. I'm running because every child deserves a safe city, affordable housing, strong neighborhoods, reliable services, and opportunities to succeed. I'm running so little ones like these can grow up in a Winnipeg filled with hope, opportunity, and pride. A city where families want to stay, a city where business want to invest, and a city where seniors are respected. And of course, a city where children can dream about their future instead of worrying about it. For me, City Hall is not a stepping stone. It's a responsibility to put residents ahead of party politics, special interest groups, and backroom deals. Every decision starts with one simple question. Does this make life simpler for the people in Winnipeg? No spin, no games, just services. The decisions we make today will shape Winnipeg for these children. They will inherit it tomorrow. This campaign has never been about me. It has always been about them, their future, our city, our time for change, because every child deserves a Winnipeg worth inheriting.
Absolutely.
And on top of that, people know already that there's a fire in my heart and my soul because of the murder of Kyriakis. So between these two, it's really, when I look at a little child or a little, that picture, when I saw that picture come over today and I asked the parents if I can use it, it just touched my heart in a special way, because really, Brad, this is what it's all about. I mean, we're going to be here for, 10 or 15 or 20 more years and we're gone. And these are the kids that are our future generation, the ones that take over the city. So you have to ask yourself, what are we going to leave these children? Are we going to leave these children with the streets the way they are now, where, there's drug-infested playgrounds, there's people passed out on the streets? It's normal in the city of Winnipeg these days to walk by somebody who's passed out on the street and not even stop and ask if they're okay. When these children are driving in their parents' cars and driving down the street and they see these people in these zombie positions and they see people banging on your window and asking for change and all the things that are happening in the city and the crimes and the violence and the nonsense our kids are being taught in school, you got to wonder, what kind of future do these kids have? And I know a lot of parents have said, do I want to have kids? Do I want to have kids? Do I want to bring a child into this world the way it's going, the way it is right now? And a lot of people say no, but you can make change. We can make change together. And I want you to be motivated about this, because if you have the right people in power, I'm talking right across. Look, in Winnipeg, 4 councillors have already dropped out of the race. And who knows how many more are going to drop out. What does that mean? That means they know that the city of Winnipeg is ready for change, real change now. And that's what I'm going to bring to the table. And I'm going to do it for those little kids. I'm going to do it for my brother. And I'm going to do it for your family members who struggle every single day, because it's not about you. It's about them. And we want to make it about you and your families, a safer, a better future for all of us.
Okay, Mike, one of the phrases that we've heard you use throughout this campaign so far is community first and putting Winnipeg residents first. Now, for some people, those are just words politicians use during an election campaign. I don't know whether you are or you aren't, but let me ask you directly, what does community first really mean to you? And how does that philosophy change the way City Hall operates? And what would Winnipeg residents see from a Michael Vogiatzakis administration that would be different from what they've already experienced in the past?
For me, Brad, it's simple. Community first means exactly that. Putting the people of Winnipeg at the center of every decision made at City Hall. And that is not happening now. Decisions have been made behind our backs, behind closed doors, and the citizens have to live with it. For example, Portage in Maine, we could talk about that over and over, how they opened it, saying that the concourse underneath was in desperate need of being closed because in desperate need of repairs. So Portage in Maine would have to be open upstairs. So it's been a year now, a whole year. And guess what? The concourse is still open and they have no plans on closing it. So that's really frustrating for residents when we spent, 70 some odd million dollars on this project, where 70 some odd million dollars could have went to the citizens of the city. We could have repaired a lot of potholes. We could have built playgrounds. We could have built swimming pools. We could have did more for the citizens. Instead, you were lied to. You were straight out lied to. And I think some of the councillors also have had enough of it. They've had enough of the lies, enough of the criticism from the fine folks of the city saying, look, you lied to us. It means asking one simple question before every vote, every project, and every dollar spent. Does this make life better for Winnipeg residents? That's a big question to ask. Community first means safer neighborhoods, Brad, where families feel comfortable. Walking at night and being able to go to playgrounds, being able to go walk and maybe get an ice cream or visit friends. It means reliable transit that gets you people from work and to play and to other places. And transit has completely fallen apart on us. The biggest complaint in this election in the last 2 years has been transit. And I took a transit bus yesterday, and I walked almost 25 minutes to get to a bus stop. And then I waited about 30 minutes for a bus to come. And then if you have those pictures up, I don't know.
They're
if you
up
do
right
or
now,
not.
Mike. Yeah, they're up.
But you see, when I went in there, I didn't even want to go sit in the bus shelter because it was filthy. And I don't know what was on the seat in there, but it smelled terrible. It looked terrible. It hadn't been cleaned. How hard is it for transit to send people out and make sure that these bus shelters are clean for the elderly, for the kids, and just for the citizens in general? And that's not being done. And you get on the bus, and it's a weary feeling getting on a bus, because you hear all the stories and you look around and you see some of the people. And I'm not judging people, but I had a comfortable, quiet ride. There was no action. There was no fights. There was nothing that people talk about. But I need to tell you that I'm going to take transit more often, because I really want to see what goes on during rush hour, what goes on in the mornings, what goes on when you have to stop on Portage Avenue right in front of City Hall and get off that bus, and how much harassment you have to put with. People have had enough of this. People want change. And I will be the change that Winnipeg needs, because I'm going to listen. We're going to take the transit system and change it back to the best of our ability, or even make it better than it is now. But in my first 30 days in power, that's what I'm going to do, is work on the number one problem. And the number two problem, obviously, is the violence and the crime. And it's going to be a time where police are going to have to get tough on crime, because we're not going to be saying, do not arrest anyone. We're going to be saying, arrest those that need to be arrested. If you commit the crime, you got to do the time. That's the bottom line. It means roads that are repaired properly, not patched over year after year. It means supporting small businesses that create jobs and keep our community strong. And talking about that, small businesses are closing down left and right. It's terrible what the city of Winnipeg has done to small businesses. What they've done with the permits, what they've done with these inspectors going out and harassing small businesses every single day, what they have did with the business tax and everything else is going on. And small businesses are sick and tired of it. And they're the ones that employ a majority of the young people and the elderly people and those people that just need part-time jobs. Small business keeps the wheel turning in the city. And it's time that we stand up for small businesses. And being a small business guy myself, be assured that I have your back. And we're going to make sure that more businesses open up, that more businesses prosper. We're going to do what it takes to work with small businesses, not work against them. We're not going to fight the system. We're going to work with the system. And we're going to bring downtown back to life again. We're going to bring it back to life with businesses that we're going to encourage to be there, that are going to encourage people to come downtown. And I know the bottom line is, when we're talking about businesses and crime and all that, there's an underlying fact to all this. And clearly, the underlying fact is, the mental health issues, the drug problem that we have in our city, and everything else that's going on in the background. But people say, well, the mayor has, no voice in that. The mayor can't do anything about that. Yeah, he can. The mayor has the strongest voice in the city of Winnipeg. Not only the strongest voice, the most powerful voice. And trust me, I will be a mayor that will go after the federal government, the provincial government, and demand change for our city. Because when you're a mayor of a city, you want to be proud of that city. It means respecting our seniors, supporting our youth. We see our youth turning into gang activity and turning into violence and turning into some stealing and some getting in trouble. We need to give the youth a future. We need to give them hope. We need to give them faith that tomorrow is going to be a better day for them. And they will have jobs, and we will create employment for them, and we will make the streets safer for them, and we will protect them. And the younger generation needs to know that. Look, as a funeral director, I've dealt with one too many suicides, one too many overdoses, because people have lost hope. We're going to bring hope back to the city, and I will be the mayor to do that. We need to ensure families that they can live in Winnipeg, and they can love it, and they can afford it. So what does this mean, Brad? It means we need to start listening to residents before making decisions, not after. It means open communication with transparency. And I know you've heard the word transparency a lot, but we need to make that word be exactly what it is and what it means. And there needs to be accountability for the mayor and the councillors that you elect. Too often people feel City Hall talks to them instead of listening to them, Brad. That needs to change. If elected, my office will be an open door to residents because City Hall belongs to the people, not the politicians. Community first means putting residents ahead of politics, special interest groups, backroom deals. When Winnipeg residents succeed, Winnipeg succeeds, and that's the kind of city we want. We want to build that kind of city. We want to build the love, the care, and the compassion in the city that is lacking and has been lacking.
Well, there's a lot of issues, Mike, when we talk about Winnipeg. Homelessness, drugs, crime, violence, vandalism, safe consumption site coming. Mike, but one of the biggest concerns we're hearing from Winnipeg residents is affordability. And if they think it's tough in Winnipeg, they should try Vancouver or Toronto, or even Calgary for that matter. Families are struggling to keep up with rising costs. Seniors are living on those fixed incomes, and they're worried about property taxes too, utilities, groceries, and simply just making ends meet. You're not really putting much away these days into your bank account and under savings. Young families are wondering if they'll ever be able to afford to buy a home, while others are finding it harder than ever to find affordable housing options because those are running out. Why are they running out? Well, I'm sure you know the answer there too. I don't have to get into it. But what would your administration do to make living in Winnipeg more affordable? And how do we create more affordable housing options and provide support for families and seniors who are struggling? Mike, I know you're going to talk about infrastructure, budgets, but can the city handle any more people? I want to ask you that. Can the city of Winnipeg handle any more folks?
That's a great question, Brad. And the answer to that is no. We need to close the door